Hi there, guys. Um, I wanted to come make this video, um, and it's kind of about, well, first of all, you guys, Happy New Year, Happy 2025. Um, I wanted to talk a little bit about New Year's resolutions in I want to talk about New Year's resolutions, but I want to talk about in comparison to, I guess that's not the word I'm looking for, but in comparison to something a little more that what that I do. And I've been doing it for a few years. It's something that has been successful for me. I haven't had an issue or problem with it. And I just want to I want to bring it to you guys and show you what I do and how I do it and how you guys can make your resolutions, quote unquote, more effective. Um, I don't really care for the whole New Year resolution narrative. I really don't, because it's almost like just throwing a bunch of wishes out there that may or may not happen or come true. And I think it could be done better than that. I think the things that we ask for, wish for, pray for, have our intentions set for, however you want to say it, um, can actually come to pass throughout the year and, even continue on. But there has to be a few main things in place. Um, the first main thing that has to really be in place is your intentions. Intentions behind what you're declaring or asking for or wishing for, hoping for, praying for, whatever. Um, and it's not really so much about being selfish, but in a way, selfishness will kind of deter that prayer or blessing or whatever resolution from coming to you. Um, that would be kind of hard to go into and really explain, but um the intention behind what you say, declare, want, or whatever, um it needs to come from a place of love. That's a way to assure that it's not necessarily for selfish, egotistical greed or what have you. um what you ask for, wish, declare, pray for, whatever, can also benefit others. Um, Sometimes in the way that it benefits you, it will benefit others. So, a quick explanation of that or example of that would be many times people make the declaration to lose weight. I'm gonna lose weight this year. In reality, we lose weight all the time. It's just that we gain it back many times and sometimes more. Um, Nothing wrong with making a declaration or resolution to lose weight, but a couple of key things that need to also be in place um, is realism. Like you need to be real about what you're declaring or asking for. Um, you can't need to lose 50 pounds, or let's just say 20. Let's just say 20 pounds. And then say, I want to lose, 20 pounds by, um, I don't know, next week or in 2 weeks or whatever. Now, that can happen. It, kind of depends on a lot of things like your body type and how disciplined you are. A lot of times, how young you are. Many times younger people just are happen they lose weight quicker than us older people. And that's for a lot of reasons. Metabolism, how busy you are, how effective you are, how what you eat, like all those things matter. So taking the example of you're trying to lose 20 pounds, okay? The first thing I would not do in keeping things real and realistic is I would not necessarily put a time frame on it. That's pretty much number one, because what's going to happen with that is that you're going to always be obsessing about the time. It's going to make you nervous. It's just not a good thing to obsess on the time. Or if you do have a goal, or if you do have a time frame, if you have to do that, I would say give yourself at least 3 months out of what you're wanting to do. Okay. So today's January 1st, 2025. I would say that you could say something like, maybe like February. No, not February. I'm sorry. Maybe something like March or August, March or April. March or April, I would even say, would be a good kind of a time frame. That's a lot of time. And the other thing is make preparations for that. Like buy the different type of foods that you're going to need to lose the weight. Do your research. You know, cut out those things that you know um are not going to be good for you. So in other words, make a plan. Um and be diligent about it. And uh make notes and so forth about it. Weigh yourself at least once a week, because that's going to keep it in your head and in your mind. And you're not going to go back to eating, a whole thing of Oreos and a bag of Cheetos and washing it down with some Coca-Cola or something. It's going to keep your goal in your head and in your mind when you um, make notes, when you set a realistic time frame, when you write down a new menu or new um, foods that you can eat. I find with weight loss, and I'm just using this as an example, but I found over the years that a lot of times with weight loss, when people don't um, get an alternative diet from what they normally eat, it's hard for them because they're going to go back to the same old things that they have always done. I'm gonna give you a quick example. So, um, taking food and diet and so forth. One of the things that when I was on my weight loss journey and in the middle of losing weight and everything, um, one of the things that things like pastas and rice and those kind of things, we know they're high in starch and they tend to kind of make you gain weight a lot. Breads, things like that. Uh, Normally, what I would do is, first of all, I would just kind of cut out the breads and all that, and that used to be hard because I really like bread. I used to be a bread person. Um, I've been on such a long standing trying to stay on course with losing weight until um breads and things like that are just not something that I obsess over. It's not something that I really buy anymore. Um, Things like that. Like I have really eaten, like I eat a whole cheeseburger if I when I eat cheeseburgers. First of all, with turkey meat and no bun. You know what I'm saying? Half a piece of cheese or no cheese. But at the end of the day, another thing that I've done, especially like with rice and things like that, because there's a lot of meals that you eat that you may want some rice with it. Well, I use cauliflower rice. That's another big alternative that I do. And it's good. It's good to me. So, with that said, what I'm saying is you need to find healthier food alternatives realistically if you are going to lose weight. Like you really need to have a regimen. So that's one example. Um, but getting into this whole new year resolution type thing, as I said, it needs to be realistic, whatever it is you're praying for. Um, a new job, more money, these type things. Well, um, I mean, you can aim high and say, I want to be a, a multimillionaire by the end of the year. I don't know. That could possibly happen. But at the end of the day, the goals that and the steps that you take for that to happen need to be realistic, you know. Um, and so if it's a career, if it's more training, if it's school, if it's a job, whatever those steps are that you need to take to become that multimillionaire, you need to start working on the steps. Realistic goals and things like that. Whatever those things may be. And like I said, the time frame, you need to give yourself time. So to say I want to be, you're starting kind of maybe, I don't know, at zero or whatever, and you're wanting to be a multimillionaire by the end of the year. Well, you gotta understand and see how realistic is that really of a goal. You know what I'm saying? Because it may take you 3 or 4 years. It may take you 5 or 6 years. Now that's not to say that it can't happen, but in a more realistic type way, I would say I would like to be on the road to becoming a multimillionaire or something like that. So that way you can start getting your ducks in a row, as they say, and start moving toward that direction. A lot of times people make New Year's resolutions and things but they never move toward the goal. Like they never start even working in the direction to do what they want. And so of course, if you're not even moving in that direction, you're going to lose faith real quick. You're going to like cuz you're not going to see the vision. Um Many New Year's resolutions have to do with the vision. That's really anything that you're hoping for, praying for, striving for, whatever. You have to be able to see it. You have to see yourself in it. It has to be a realistic goal, and you have to, nothing's going to fall in your lap. Nothing's going to knock on your door one day and just be like, here I am. You got to move and work toward those goals. Even better relationships. If you're looking and hoping for a better relationship, well, one of the big things to do is to start evaluating the mistakes you have been making in relationships. Looking at maybe even the type of people that you attract, the type of people that you are attracted to, and start making some changes because you can't hope for something or wish for something new to happen while you're still doing the same thing. So it may even require cutting off those type of people or those people that you may still have in your life. A lot of times we can't receive something new because we haven't let go of the past. So you may have to go through and block and delete a lot of people. Um, and like I say, begin to get with yourself on the truth of what you really want and how you're going to get it. And is this realistic for me? You know what I'm saying? I can't wish for a man, a rich Arab in Dubai, to be my husband in 6 months because I don't, in my life right now, I don't meet rich Arab men from Dubai. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not in that circle. I don't work in a field where I would meet someone like it's not, it wouldn't be a realistic goal for me. Of course, it's not something I want anyway, but I think you guys get what I'm saying. It has to be realistic and it has to be something that you are actively working and moving towards. Now, if you have a job where you work in travel and so forth, and your job that travels could take you to a place like Dubai or whatever, or you even are vacationing in Dubai. I have no plans of vacationing in Dubai, at least not this year. um, it's going to be hard for you to meet that goal if it's not realistic for you. So, as I come to a close, you know, what I do is well, let me say this real quick. I find a lot of us that have kind of moved away from Christianity and church and so forth, and not being so much a staple or big part of our lives anymore, whether we've grown out of it, whether we don't trust religion, like whatever it is. Um, I find that one of the things that we also stop doing is praying. And we can use another term for praying. We could say meditate, we can say being in deep thought, we can call it whatever it is, but I think it's still very, very relevant. And even more so, honestly, in today's time. You don't have to pack your Bible and get up and go to church and give tithes and all that to pray. Prayer is simply requesting from the universe, requesting from God, whatever it is that you believe in. It's a deep, earnest need or desire for something to happen. You can use the Bible, you can use goals, you could use whatever it is that you want to use, but I think it's important because at the end of the day, what quote unquote prayer does is it's still you declaring from a state of intention, which is everything. Your intentions behind what you're asking for is everything. It's literally vital. Literally. And so um that has to be established first. And like I said before about the ego and selfishness and everything, let it be done as best of your ability to make it be in love. You know what I'm saying? Let that intention be rooted in love. You know what I'm saying? Um, an example of that, let's go back to weight loss real quick. Now, how could my weight loss or your weight loss or whatever be an act of love for other people? Don't really sound like that would make sense. But in a way it does because you losing the weight would help you be healthier. It's going to help you live longer. It's going to help you be more active and do more things with the loss of the weight in your life that maybe you can't have done before. Maybe you can play with your kids or your grandkids more. Maybe you can, get a better just get a better leash on life in doing more things because now you're healthier and you can do those things. And so when you look at it that way, it is actually an act of love. It's an act of love for all of your family because you're going to be here longer. You know what I'm saying? You can do more and everything. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys, but you just have to kind of find those things that are specific for you. So some of the things that I always pray for or ask for or whatever in my declarations, not even necessarily for the new year, because it's not, I don't necessarily have to do it for the new year, and neither do you, but a lot of people do. So that's why I'm starting from there. Um, is I pray for health. I pray for health. I pray for strength. I pray for my family, my entire family, the safety of my family. I pray for hedge of protections. around my family, my son, my daughter, my grandbabies, those that I know and love, friends, and so forth. I pray for a hedge of protection to be around them. I pray that they don't go to dangerous spots and dangerous areas that is going to cost them their life or get them injured in some kind of way. Now, I haven't looked into it, but just for a really, really quick example, I think something happened overnight or something in New Orleans where there's like 10 people dead. Now, I just saw that, so I don't know all of the details or whatever, but that's a horrible thing. And you don't want anybody to be hurt or lose their life. But as far as I'm concerned and what I do in my declarations or what have you is, like I said, putting that hedge or protection around those that I know and love, my family. Angels will watch over them, or whoever, the spirit guides, or whoever will watch over them constantly and always. And so that would be a protective barrier that maybe if you did know or love someone who was there in New Orleans at that time, that maybe they would miss it. Maybe they left before it happened. Maybe, they were saved from it. It didn't impact them. Um, and those are the type of things that, and that is not even to say that if something bad happened to whoever that they didn't have, like I don't know. But all I know is what I do and what I ask for. So um, I pray that my bills and so forth are able to be paid, that I'll have the money to cover all of my bills and expenses, and that um, I won't be in debt. I won't be struggling. I won't become homeless. I won't, um, of course, lose your job, your car breakdown. Like you're praying for all of these things to continue throughout the year for you and those that you love or whomever. Now, the flip side of that also is you want to pray away evil impacts, like I just said with the thing that happened in New Orleans. You want to pray those type things away, and especially in the time that we are in now, like it is just so much happening. It really is. And I think it's kind of of a disservice when we say, oh, well, we're not praying, I'm not religious or whatever, and then you just neglect prayer or asking for good to happen or whatever. I think it's a disservice to yourself because you still need to decree and declare those things out of your mouth. Um, of course, with good intentions. And so, um, praying that evil not come upon you and those that you love and those that you care about, that no crazy, insane, demonically led people cross your path or come into your life to mess it up. Keep narcissists, keep psychopaths, keep those that with ill intentions upon you and your family or so forth away from you. um I'm gonna be honest, I am not necessarily religious anymore. I do incorporate maybe some scriptures and things like that in some of the things that I do on a daily basis or just pray for or whatever. But I'm not necessarily even as spiritual or whatever as or religious as I used to be. I do classify myself more spiritual, much like probably many of you. But like I say, what I see, what I really see going on in this world right now, I see a lot of demonic activity. Um, Women being set on fire. It's happened in two places. Now, I'm not unrealistic enough to say that some of this stuff is not being orchestrated also. but it's quite demonic in the nature of it. It's quite demonic in the fact that it's even being orchestrated and actually being carried out. You see what I'm saying? It takes a certain kind of person to set another living being on fire. That's not a normal thing. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of people are walking around very demonic. I think a lot of people are walking around with a whole bunch of spirits inside of them, whether they know it or not. And I think they're okay with that. I think they allow those things to happen. Now, this ain't no sermon or anything like that. Of course, we know that those spirits and things like that get into you in many ways. Some come through drugs, some come through alcohol, many come through alcohol. Some come through mental illnesses and things like that. Some of them are transferred. Some of these spirits and things are generational. Some of these demonic spirits and things like that are through family lineages. You know what I'm saying? So it gets very, very deep. This is not the video for that. I won't go into all of that right now. But believe me, there's a lot of demonic activity and a lot of demonic things going on right now. Um, and you need to know how to pray against that. You need to know how to set intentions around your children and to set protection around your children. Sometimes it's just prayer. Many times, as I've told you guys on here before, I incorporate oils, I incorporate candles, and all these things um, in my prayers or what have you. I also do what people would I guess classify as spells. It doesn't matter to me how they classify it. I know it works for me. I don't have any shame or whatever about it because it works for me. And that's what I do. But there was something else I was about to bring up and I forgot it. But either way, whatever you're led to pray for and how to pray for it, and especially combating all of these negative, evil spirits. That there's a whole war right now against women actively, and men. There are great numbers of men who have let the spirit of hate and division and jealousy and all these things come in them to attack women. And you have to kind of have those negative feelings and spirits and things like that in order to even enact a lot of that stuff. Um, there was a thing recently where they exposed, which means somebody know more than what they're saying about this, but there was something like 70,000 men, they say, that were on a group chat, which I did find out that they said it was the social platform Telegram or whatever it is. I'm not on that, don't know how it works. But also, I think they were saying that it kind of keeps you more anonymous than some of the other platforms and things like that. So they were saying that it may be hard to actually find out who all these people were. But either way, and these men were plotting and planning and talking about hurting women and children and ways to enact that and how it is being done. Some of it, I think, one of the things I heard was that they were talking about raping women and how they have even assaulted sisters and mothers, which is insane to me to even think of. But yeah, this is the depravity of at least 70,000 men who are walking among us, and we don't know who they are. And this is why, as I said, we need to pray. We really need to pray. Um, There was a thing, and I know it's probably still going on, where there were groups of men, mainly I think in New York, but probably in other places as well, just punching women in the face. Saw a couple things about people being pushed off of platforms on subways and in front of trains and things like that like that. Many of these assaults were women. Um, and again, as I say, we've heard about the woman in New York that was set on fire while she was sleeping. Then a black lady in North Carolina, same thing. And my thing is, you can't tell me that those are two coincidences. I mean, first of all, setting somebody on fire is rare enough and outlandish enough. But for it to happen in two places, you can't tell me that these are not orchestrated things that are being done to people, and mainly women. And these activities, or whatever you want to call them, are being done by people who have allowed hate and anger and jealousy and just dislike for women. Like, this is what's happening. You know what I'm saying? So with that said, and so that the video, it's going on long enough. But at the end of the day, the thing that we need to absolutely get back to is praying with intention, praying to set off our this new year, praying for protection, praying for health, praying for evil demonic forces and jealous people, angry people, mentally ill, insane people, whatever, to not be around us, not be around our realm, not even come into contact with those kind of people. Safety around your car, safety around your vehicle, safety around your children. Um, Good health, happiness, hope, love, joy, peace, and things for people that you know and love, that you will be safe on your job, that you will be safe traveling to and from your job, that you won't meet no crazy person that will shoot you on the highway or some type of craziness. I mean, all these things are things that happen, and we don't know or can't predict the future. But I think a lot of us have more power than we realize. That there's a scripture talking about the power of the tongue. When we declare and set intentions verbally and even written down, because that's one of the things that I've also done. I'm not going to go into showing you guys, because what's mine is mine, and it's private and it's personal. But I have literally made a whole list of the things that I want for this year. Um, and I am going to personally, because it works for me, and it's something, again, as I say, that I have incorporated in my prayers and spells, if you want to call them, that works, and I see results. Is I'm going to take that list of the things that I have asked for this year, and I am going to, you take that, you can anoint it with certain oils of peace, love, some oils of evil stay away, evil get back, whatever. If you want to incorporate some candles, or just um the word I'm looking for, protection, onto that, you can, you know but I am going to, I get a Ziploc bag, and I put a little bit of water, enough to fill my list, put it in there, and I put it in my freezer or my deep freezer or whatever, and I leave it there. And that's initially called a freezer spell. But it works. It works. I do it every year. I do it throughout the year. And I'm not trying to tell you guys to get into something that you don't believe in, but even if you don't go that far or do any of those other things, it's still a good thing to have good intentions, um, and speak those good intentions. And if you want to write it down, good. If you don't, whatever. But do it on a regular basis. You know what I'm saying? You can't just pray or ask or request of something one time and that's just it and it's just done or whatever. It can work like that, but many times there's nothing wrong with the reinforcement of continuing to do it. So, you guys, again, thank you so much for listening and for watching. I do ask that you would hit the subscribe button, please. I'm trying to grow. Hit all notifications so that you know when I upload new videos. You guys, Happy New Year again. Thank you so much. I got at least one big thing coming out this year. I'm still working on it right now, hoping that I will. Well, it's going to be a success. That's it. That's all it is. So it'll be a success, and you guys will hear about it pretty soon. You guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. To the next video. See you next time.